Welcome to the first tutorial in the Fusion 360 for Woodworkers series. We're going to be designing this very simple phone stand, but it really teaches you and drives home the basics of Fusion 360 for every project you're ever going to build. You'll learn how to sketch rectangles, lines, add dimensions, extrude shapes, cut the phone slot, and add chamfers to make it a clean look. By the end, you're going to know how to model most small woodworking projects, and you'll have a custom phone stand designed and ready to either be 3D printed, cut out in your wood shop, or just a project to sharpen your skills and get better at Fusion 360 and any other projects. Make sure you stick around to the end. I'll show you how to quickly tweak this for your tablet or whatever other phone thingy you have laying around. Let's get started. I already have this project open, but we're going to go up here and click on the plus sign for a new design. And to jump right in, up here next to design, you're going to say create sketch. And this box will pop up with three different planes: your front plane, your bottom plane, and your side plane. So we'll click this, and it also changes over here. And you can use this to navigate also. Boop, boop. Okay. Now, as you can see, once you click your plane, this toolbar up here changes into the sketch toolbar. We'll click a 2-point rectangle for this one. And we're going to click on the center. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to just click randomly. Just to teach you just a little bit. We have our rectangle, and to get out of the rectangle, press the escape button. That's how you get out of your tools. And everything is blue right now. That means that we can just drag it anywhere we want. Everything is movable. So to change that, you're going to click this and just drag it. You'll click the bottom corner and just drag it to the center point. And you'll see that now that point can't move. That's because you constrained it. When you constrain things, they will turn black. So now we'll click a dimension toolbar up here. And we'll make that 1 inch. And now you can see it's more constrained. You can't go vertically. We can only change this long dimension. Click dimension again, and we'll click this bottom line, and we'll make it 4.5. Great. Press escape, and now you'll see the box is fully black, and you can't change it around at all, which is exactly what we want. We want to make sure that our sketches are fully defined so that if we do want to change them later, it's easy and we're not really guessing. Now, up here, above line, you're going to click solid. And then you're going to click this thing that looks like it's a box getting bigger, because that's exactly what it is. It turns to an angle, and we're going to click inside of our rectangle, and we're just going to pull it just to see what happens. I do recommend you go through and play with all of these, but for now, we're just going to worry about this dimension. We're going to make it 3.5 inches. And for the operation, we're going to make it a new component. For this project, it doesn't matter if you do a new body or a new component since it's only one part, but we're going to get into more complicated parts later. So just start off with a new component. It'll make it easier in the future. And press OK. Now we have our first block, and you probably want to look around a little bit. So to be able to rotate it, you're going to press the shift button and the middle mouse button, and then you can move it up and this little globe pops up. Okay. To zoom in and out, you use your scroll wheel. And to move what they call panning, wax on, wax off, you just press the middle mouse key. Now that we have our block, which if you think about it is just like a block of wood, we were starting with a block of wood here. We're going to cut out a phone holder. So we're once again next to design, create a sketch. You'll click on the side. We're going to click on the 2-point rectangle again. And you'll see once you click onto this top bar, it'll hold it magnetically. So we'll click on that. Draw our rectangle and press escape. We're going to dimension from this point to this vertical line. We'll make it 3/4 inch. Now we're going to do the pocket depth, and we'll make this 0.5. Looks good to me. And we'll do the same dimension for this bottom part, 0.5. Whoops, 0.5. Now the phone will fit in here nicely. So now we can cut this part out. So once again, up here, you're going to click on solid. And there isn't a cut button. You're actually going to click the extrude button again. You're going to click your profile, which is what that's called. That's what your triangle or your rectangle is called. We're going to press shift, middle mouse wheel, rotate it, and then we can just pull this all the way through. And you can see that it gives you a nice preview of it cut all the way through. And just so you have one more piece of knowledge base, we're going to look over here on our extrude table, and we're going to change this from distance, which it is now, minus 3.8, minus 3.8, and we're just going to say through all. The operation is a cut, so it already did that for us, and we're going to press OK. Ta-da! Have a beautiful part already. And now we're going to make this just, a little bit prettier. So up next to design, create sketch, and we're going to click on the same side. Rather than doing a rectangle this time, we're just going to click a line. And we'll use the walls of this predefined rectangle as our other lines. And I'll show you that in a second. So click it, it'll magnet to it automatically. All right. So now we have two undefined rectangles. This one is attached to a midpoint. That's what this triangle is. It just means midpoint. If you didn't want to attach to that, you can click on the triangle and press delete. But we want it. So we'll just click it, drag it back over, and it'll reattach itself. Now we're going to dimension these two rectangles so that they also turn black. So we're going to click on this part, and we'll make it 45 degrees. Now that doesn't really help you on how deep you want to go, does it? So when you're actually in the shop, you're going to want to know how deep you want this 45 degree angle. So we're going to click on this piece down here and this top corner. And this pops up asking you if you want to make it a driven direction. So there's driving directions. Sorry, there's driving dimensions, which are the ones that matter. And then there's driven, which are basically just passengers, and they're going to change if the driver changes. So create driven. And just to illustrate this, I'm going to get out of this, press escape, and I'm going to change this to 40 degrees. Now this changed from whatever it was to 0.447. We'll change it back to 45, and it'll go back to 375. Now we're going to do the opposite for this one. So we want to know how deep to cut this chamfer. We're going to click on that line and this line here, and we'll make it 1/4 of an inch. And maybe we want it 1/4 of an inch from the bottom. So 0.25. Now you'll see that it's turned black, which means it's fully defined. Now we're going to click on this vertical line and the chamfer line, and we'll get this, and we'll just create it as a driven dimension here. Ta-da! And that's it. So we have our two chamfer cutouts that we want just for add a little dad vibe to them. We're going to go back over to design and solid, extrude. And now we can click on these two triangles. We're going to press shift and middle mouse key so we can rotate. And we're just going to drag this, and you'll see that they both go out the same dimension. And we're just going to say cut. And that's it for this design. Make sure you check the comments. I'm going to show you how you make this on the table saw. So here's a bonus tip for you. This was designed for a phone, but maybe you want it for a tablet. What you can do is you can drag this bar. If you go down here, you can drag this over. Whoops, too far. So we click on it again, and we have this, just this block. We can right click on this block, say edit feature. And rather than going 3.5 out, maybe we want to go 5.5 out. Can drag this back over. And now you'll see that the phone slot went all the way through, but these didn't, these chamfer cutouts. So we can right click on the chamfer cutouts down here, edit feature, and we'll change this to all. Okay. And now, whatever design we want to make, or whatever dimension we want to make, these chamfers will go all the way through. So once again, I'm going to right click down here, edit feature, and we'll make it 3.5 inches again. And that's it. You've learned how to sketch. You've learned how to draw rectangles. You've learned how to fully constrain different dimensions. And most importantly, an awesome little phone holder for your desk or whatever you need it for. Make sure you check the comments because I'm going to be building this in one of my next videos. So that's it. In this video, you learned how to do a ton of stuff, including make your first part. You learned how to start sketches. You learned how to extrude. You learned how to cut. And this is really the bulk of everything you're going to do in Fusion 360. So keep this part open and start playing around with it. Play with the dimensions, play with different things, maybe cut some holes, do whatever you want to do, play around with it, and then go into the shop and build it. In the next project, we're going to start making something with multiple parts, like a real project. Make sure you subscribe so you can learn even more stuff in Fusion 360. I'll see you for the next video.